Hey guys, this is Chase with Dominion Dog Training. Today we've got Hazel, who's a 2-year-old German Shepherd dealing with some really crazy fear issues. He has not been around any other dogs besides the other dog that lives in the house with him. I'm really excited about this video today just because of the state of this dog and how much we're able to help him out. You may hear me call him a girl some by mistake today just because I had a friend whose dog's name was Hazel who just passed away recently, and she's been on the mind a lot. We're really just testing out his fear conditions right now, seeing if he's more afraid of me than he is bonded with the owner. We've skipped around a bit, but I've decided that the best thing for this dog is to just go ahead and meet another dog with muzzle on. So we're going to go back to the live training here and hear what I have to say.
Because what I don't want to run into, a lot of times what we see with the leash is, especially with the German Shepherd in particular, it creates frustration. He doesn't get to do what he wants to do. And so it makes him bark louder and be more reactive because he can't do what he's trying, you know. So I want to take the leash out of it and just let him meet through the gate. Picking up some dust there, Hazel. Good girl, Friday. Good girl. Here you go, Friday. You want some treats? So you can see Friday's pretty confident, right? She's not and run and be afraid. That's why I wanted her out here today, because yeah, she's just kind of whatever, you know, not a big deal. And you can see, just like I was talking about last week, his response is go hide, right? The barking didn't work. It didn't get the scary thing away. So he's like, well, I guess I'll just retreat, right? So you can see he's already changed modes of like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do now because the barking didn't work. So I want him to calm down a little bit more because he's still loading. He's still kind of panting, but we'll let her out here and just see what he does with access to her. I honestly think he may, you know, calm down a little bit because he's going to have access. A lot of times the dogs are willing to be pushy and kind of strong-willed looking when they've got that barrier, but when the barrier comes down, they're kind of like, oh, you know, I don't know what to do now. And so that's what I want to see from Hazel is like, since we've got his bite taken away, how is he going to respond? Okay, so, you know, it's kind of an experiment, but that's what we need to do, right? So let's let Friday out here.
So now we are going to let Friday out here with Hazel. He is very afraid. You're going to see him run up on her a couple times here. Sorry for the terrible camera angles. I was working with a gimbal here that did not have an actual cameraman. It was following me around instead of following the dogs around. But we get some good angles, see that fear from Hazel and how confident Friday is. They're not reacting. So there's a little correction, which is great. Friday's standing her ground, which is what I want to see. This is what Hazel needs. He is trying to get her to back away because he's afraid. And you can see when that doesn't work, he retreats back over to the owner. And now you're going to see some forced interactions here. We're going to have Hazel and the owner come over towards us to kind of meet and greet and show that the owner trusts my dog and trusts me. And I'm kind of explaining to the owner here. I didn't do a great job of explaining what we wanted to do when he reacted. So you'll see a poor correction here when the dog does react on Friday. We're creating a circle of trust. That dog is trying to meet Friday now and is getting more comfortable with her. But you'll see here in a second that he changes his mind when he feels like he's got an opportunity to strike. He goes for it. Let's wait for it here. You may not think this is going well, but the owner's actually asking if he can record part of this session because Hazel's doing so much better than usual. There we go. Trying to get a sniff. She's ignoring him. She faces him. There we go. I wanted the owner there to take him away and correct, but instead he just walked away without the dog, which doesn't really do any good, but does have the same effect, I guess, after the fact, but is not perfect in the correction. We're going to see some improvement there. I'm explaining to him what I want him to do there. Grab him by that collar, take him away, and we're going to try this again.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, Friday.
You want to pet Friday again?
Yeah. Good boy. Good girl.
Good job, Friday. Getting a little jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so if we see any kind of reaction towards her,
Okay.
let's, like I said, maybe kind of grab him by that prong and just make him go away.
Oh.
Come here, Fry.
Hey.
Grab her and go. Grab him and go. There you go. Just perfect. So that's what you're going to have to do with him on these situations, because you got to let him know. Yeah, he's the one in the wrong, right? Because right now, with him being nervous, like I said last week, he thinks he's doing the right thing, right? He thinks like, oh, they need protection. I need to keep this other dog away. But we want to show him, no, you're not doing the right thing. We're going to take you out.
I think after a few more practice, he will be a lot better.
Yeah. No, I think this is good for him.
Yeah, a lot. It's already a lot improved.
Sure.
Compared to the beginning.
So I can tell what he doesn't like is kind of like with me last week. It's the approach, right? So when Friday goes out there like that and he comes back towards her, that's what he's not liking. So I'm going to call her back over here again.
Okay.
And let's just see. Just be ready to catch him, right?
Sure.
Friday, come on. Come here, girl. Come here. So you can see something in her behavior too that's just a good lesson as well. She's taking a circuitous route, right?
Walk directly.
Right. That direct route is what makes it is intimidating.
Yeah.
Now we are going to bring Cash out, my border collie. He's not as confident as Friday is in these kind of situations, but he does pretty well. So I wanted him to also meet Hazel. I brought him out on a leash just so I could keep him from wanting to flee or avoid the situation. You may have seen him run over to the fence right when Cash came out, which is typical. But as soon as I brought Cash in, he was a little bit more aloof and already seemed to be doing better with the second dog than the first, which is a good sign. Cash here is not likely going to engage with Hazel very much of his own accord. We're going to force some interactions here in a minute. Once again, I apologize about the camera angles. Here in a minute, you'll see my gimbal die and it kind of flops to the side. So I'll go to a hand camera for a little bit just to get some better angles anyways. But this interaction is great. He's not running at Cash. I don't know if he's just a little bit afraid of Cash or there he goes. So I get the dogs running around a little bit, and this is an awesome moment right there. You can see that head dip. He knew he was in the wrong when he ran over there at those dogs playing, and I wanted him to start working on those situations where, you know, they're playing, they're chasing the ball, they're kind of ignoring Hazel, don't want anything to do with him, and Hazel's still reacting negatively at times. So we're going to get another opportunity here in a second once they get kind of close to Hazel. Again, there he goes. Watch his head dip right there, way down to the ground, submitting to the owner. That's exactly what we want to see. After a few corrections have happened, he's starting to understand that what he's doing is wrong. He's still fighting the impulse, but he's understanding that that's not a behavior that we want, and he needs to work on it. You're going to see him start to interact with the dogs a little bit here. The ball comes over him. He takes a sniff at it, see what makes this thing so fun. We'll see, I think Friday or Cash come over here in just a moment, and he is a little more interested in them. I walk over to grab the ball. He's gotten almost not reacted to me at all. At the first lesson, he had a really difficult time with that, but now he's warmed up to me pretty well. So we're going to see a little bit more interaction with Cash and Friday. I think we get one more dash out there at them. There we go. Perfect right there. That is what I wanted to see. He wanted to react, but he stopped. Okay, we can see that the owner stepping in is making a difference. So at this time, I just wanted him to see some other dogs. I didn't have any dogs that I trusted out there with him. just because he was so reactive. But I did want him to meet a few in the kennel, so we walk into the barn just to kind of check them out and meet a few guys. I got a couple of puppies and a Labradoodle on the other side over there, and the Aussie there is Weller, and Callie is the puppy. And he actually did pretty well there. You know, he's a little nervous, but he's not as terrified as he has been, and he wants to stay close to his owner. So I had his owner walk up in there. So I think this is one of the best things for him. Is just get a little interaction with other dogs. So we're back out again, hanging out with my two dogs. We hadn't had a jump here in a while. I'm really excited about his progress. I wish I would have got some more footage for you guys because by the end, I had the owner, whose name was Chi, walking around with him while the dogs played, and so kind of had him in a heel walk and just going around while the other dogs played, and he was doing a fantastic job of just dealing with it. Here we go. We get one more. Another head dip. Good. He realizes what he did was wrong. He stopped pretty quickly. He's coming back over, and he settles down again. This dog is a very fearful dog, guys. This may look not great, but for him, this is such an improvement. He's never been around any other dogs besides the golden retriever that lives in the house with him. The fact that he's willing to lay down like that and relax, and you may have seen it earlier in the clip, it's just incredible that he's made this much progress this quickly. There we go. Threw the ball pretty close. My dogs are starting to get comfortable with him, a little more confident. He's wanting to react, but he's dealing with it, which is good. I was just talking to the owner there about maybe not petting him quite as much. When you have a reactive dog like that, pets usually do not help in those situations. There he goes, petting him again. So for the last little clip here, we've got Cash and Friday just backing their butts up to them and letting him finally get a sniff now that he's calmed down a little bit. And he does a great job. He engages. Video was helpful for any of you guys out there that may have a super fearful dog who maybe hasn't interacted with other dogs a lot. The best thing for them is to find some dogs that are confident, that are willing to kind of play and engage with him. You may have to muzzle train the dog first just to get them comfortable with wearing it, and just safety first in those kind of situations. But if you don't have a dog in your area that you trust, feel free to reach out and message me or reach out in the comments here to set up a private lesson with my two pups. Thanks.